another at long on. He's talking with the skipper about the field. And I'm also curious to see what sort of a field he has on the offside, because now they're probably going to try to look to at least keep India quiet a little longer, maybe buy a wicket. I don't see anything out of the blue happening. Suddenly the pitch either has subsided or Indian batsmen are negotiating it pretty well. In comes Maxwell. Over the wicket. Rahul plays that off the back foot. He places it to the man in the sweeper on the cover. That's a single, comfortable. It's almost as if they have resumed service again in India.
It's been very repetitive, hasn't it?
Normal service.
I think they've played reasonably, not taken too many chances. So I hope they can carry it on now for some time.
Well, Maxwell bowled that one a bit flatter. Kohli was hanging on the back foot. It hit straight to that same sweeper car fielder who's Marnus Labuschagne. One more run results. There seems to be a little bit of frustration creeping in when you look at some of the Australian fielders' body languages. The three deep fielders on the off, there are 2 45 fielders, one at third man, one at fine leg. There is a mid wicket and an extra cover. And I think there was a mid off. I'll need to confirm this. That's an interesting field. In comes Maxwell. Again, Rahul plays late. And that's guided down to the left of the fielder at third man. That's a run. But this one he was much more in control of, because it was well wide outside his off stump and he was able to play it without too much risk. In comes Maxwell. That's one drifting onto Kohli's leg stump. He's guided it to Zampa, who's at deep fine leg. Kohli wanted 2, but there was never going to be 2. But 4 runs, 4 balls. This is pretty good. Jadeja's padded up. We see it. Oh, Jadeja is actually not padded up. That's very interesting.
No, Hardik Pandya is padded up.
Hardik is padded up. I mean, usually the convention is for 2 batsmen to be padded up. That's what I meant. Maybe they have Ashwin padded up somewhere secretly, right? I've heard this talk. Ashwin can be the banker and so on. Do you want to take over, Russ?
Sure, thank you. I came back here and then realised that I forgot to unmute my Zoom when I was doing all of the different things I needed to get this started again.
All right.
The YouTube's back and running though, which is good, amongst other things.
Yes. Oh, that's good.
Not surprising to see that stat that says India was getting more spin than Australia. I feel like that's probably more to do with the quality of the bowlers than the pitch or anything.
That's probably true.
We see a ball replacement. We see the magical box of balls that has, what is that, 15, 18 balls? Good cards. That's a lot. They usually make do with 2 or 3 for the whole season. If somebody hits a 6, we tell him, go fetch the ball yourself. You don't have too many.
Well, you're not playing the World Cup, so.
Fair enough.
The one they're replacing...
Well, I've not played any international games.
The one they're replacing looked almost brown there. It was just a whole patch of it seemed to have taken off altogether.
Well, looks like Jeremy Henderson messages has called on what happened. The cat may have pulled the plug, he says, as to why suddenly all the feeds died. Is that true, Russ?
No, the internet died. I'm not sure why. My internet provider thinks that 2 a.m. is the best time to cut the internet, which is probably true for most people.
Believe you me, that's normal service window. I think if you read in your contract, it'll be hidden somewhere.
Maxwell, it's short of a length, and Rahul plays it back down the wicket. We had 1 or 2 outages during the Ashes for the same reason. It comes back, as long as it comes back quickly, it's all right.
Having worked for an internet provider at some point in time, the maintenance window is around then.
So full to Rahul, and he turns it around the corner, but it's fielded at mid-wicket. No run. End of the over. 3 for 124 of 31.
So
go with you.
Go on.
I was going to ask you, gents, whether you think that India should try and accelerate and improve their net run rate at this point in time.
Not yet.
I think it's much more important that they win this match. I mean, sorry, interrupted, but I just think it's much more important for them to win this match than worry about the net run rate.
Exactly. If they cross 160 with 15 overs left, they may have a dart at the remaining 40 runs. But until then, it'll just be plain sailing. Wow. Stark looks like a Mexican bandit from this far away with that mustache. Never mind. In the meantime, Leah Lavender Gorilla says, I have New Zealand in the semis, and while I see Netherlands win at least one upset game, at least not tomorrow. So Leah thinks it's going to be either England or Australia that Netherlands are going to surprise. Any comments, gents?
It's possible. I mean, it's not like major teams have not lost to one of the minnows before, and Netherlands has been here. This is not the first time the Netherlands is in the World Cup, so they've
Right.
got some history there.
Absolutely.
I know India's lost to all kinds of teams in World Cups. So Kenya, Zimbabwe, not Netherlands probably.
Not yet, no.
He's Stark to Collie, came around the wicket, and he's played that square drive out to the point the sweeper comes around, but they'll get 2, takes the score onto 126.
This is good. For me, when I saw the score, I switched the TV on a little late and I saw the score to be 2 for 2. I was hoping that, these both can spend 100 balls each and that'll be the game for India. They're very close to that. And this is me flexing my jinxing muscles a bit more to make sure all of this jinxing is out of the way earlier on in the World Cup. And for the rest of the World Cup, I can speak openly without having to worry about it.
He's Stark. That one's way down the leg side. Carey does well to stop it, but it'll still be called a wide. Takes the score to 127.
You forget how tall Stark is, really. When he passes somebody of a normal height, that's when you see, good gods, how tall and how big he really is.
Continuing to watch Mitch Marsh drop that catch over and over again. Obviously, such a pivotal moment.
He's not having a good first match, is he?
No.
No.
Stark again, outside of stump, and Collie wafts at that one. It goes past the outside edge. I mean, if Collie had got out there, this game potentially could have looked very different at that point.
Oh, yeah.
In deeper in the middle order.
It would have been not yet panic stations, but not very far off because, well, Hardik has the maturity to bat 30 overs where required.
I think the percentage chance would have gone down substantially before you.
Stark outside of stump, and Collie just guides that down to backward point. Another single.
Some tableau of photos that we're getting to see. That's an interesting tattoo Zampa seems to have on his forearm. I had not noticed that earlier. Looks like the royal emblem of the Saudi royal household at this point in time, but I would like to take a closer look.
I doubt that.
I am teasing, yes. So, well, while we're waiting, Jay Grover really wants to know what you're up to, Russ. Something nefarious, while he gives some of his own peccadillos out, which I'll share shortly.
Stark to Rahul. He's driving. He's actually driven that beautifully. Passes off the cover fielder and races his way to the fence for 4. Oops, I've not even got the jingles ready. This is how chaotic we are now.
No, but that was classic. That's the classic test match shot on the up. They head over the ball, higher elbow, just next to the left, next to the extra cover and between mid-off and extra cover. Beautiful. Meanwhile, Jay Grover says if my internet provider cut off at 2 a.m., I would have no money, and I'm not even talking about OnlyFans.
Start.
Well, somebody else is thinking of in the same way about India increasing the net run rate. I'll tell you how.
Here is Stark. It's full to Rahul and defended, but straight to cover.
Leah says maybe she wants Siraj to be sent in as a pinch hitter with hopes of getting 32 of 7. Yeah, that would be what we would do at our level in an amateur league game. We expect an international team to be a bit more mature, but well, who knows? It's all possible, isn't it? There have been international games where the best 3 batsmen have been 8, 9, 10 because of a dog of a pitch. They waited for it to dry. This is 1930s, but it's been done.
Stark into Rahul, and he's on the back foot, pushing it, but straight to the mid-wicket, who comes around and feels the end of the over. That is 3 for 132.
Time for switcheroo, gents?
Switch again. I think I'm off.
Oh. Well, you were very smooth in your recovery there, I've got to say, Russ. I was most impressed.
Thank you, Messi. It came back relatively quickly. I didn't have to panic too much.
We had Sapun down. I think Sapun's done, isn't he?
Sapun says he was done.
Yeah.
He can't do no more. He's out. He has nothing in his tank, he says. I can be here for a little longer if that can help, gents. But
that'd be great.
That'd be great. Thanks, Sajid.
Okay. I'm looking at my mailbox shortly. I hope the check is in the mail. I'll be here longer.
Well, I hear that you're getting paid twice what I am. You know, three-fifths of 5/8.
2 times 0.
Yeah. A lot. Any number of times 0 is still the same. But outside of the jokes, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to contribute.
Dear.
Yes.
So
in the meantime,
strolling along at 4 and over at the moment. Sampa is in tossing up another nice little thing to be cut by Kohli out through deep cover for 4 runs. It was sort of cut drive almost.
He finally managed to get past the sweeper cover with that.
Yes, yeah. It just feel that there's no that is a very nice shot.
It was short enough, but that was still excellently played.
There's no sense of super urgency. They're just pressing a little harder, that's all. This one, he tries to guide down to third man, but there's a very short third man who feels it, and there's no run.
No, I think Zampa has been a little short this over. I don't know if he's trying to do something else. We leg spinners can get something in our head, and while we are thinking about it, suddenly the lengths change. These things can happen.
See what this one does. This is short on middle sum. Lucky that Kohli simply decided to knock it out to long on rather than pull it, because he if he was in a hurry, he could have hit that for 6 over mid-wicket, I reckon.
Precisely. It's still, it's still safety first yet here, India. I like to see that this remains the approach. They're doing it very nicely. Yeah,
I agree.
They've already got a 4 in the over. Why go and do something else? This is good.
Yep. Zampa's in again. This one also is a tad short, but straight turns a tiny bit, and Rahul just defends back to short cover. There's no run.
Well, earlier somebody challenged Zampa of not turning the ball too much. I have a defense for that.
Yeah?
Well, Kumble never turned much. Either way, 6-12 international.
This one he tosses up a little, and it's driven out to the sweeper on the cover boundary for a single. So that means that Rahul is on 61, Kohli is on 70. The score is 108 and 138 for 3. They need another 62 runs from 103 balls.
So they're completely different bowlers, Ajit. I don't think you can compare Kumble with the way Zampa bowls.
No, I understand. Yeah. But the other thing I was going to say is McGrath always said, if you can turn the ball, or he meant swing the ball, no more than 1/2 of the width of a bat, that's enough to beat a batsman, right?
So the final ball there, Kohli repeats what Rahul just did, knocks it out to the cover boundary for a single, and at the end of the over, it's 139 for 3 off 33 overs.
Well, Jay Grover has seemed to have caught onto some of my comments. He says, Ajit, I think I speak for everyone when I say you should never refer to your jinxing muscles ever again. This is a family show. And Leah offers a treat for people that know about American political podcasts, Chapo Trap House of the South. I don't know if this is the name of a podcast. It comes with a funky logo, which ends in a very famous calligraphy from 1/2 of the world.
So there's a comparison on screen. India are actually only about 8 runs ahead of where Australia were at a similar stage, but as we know, Australia was slowly declining at that stage. First ball of Stark's over is hit by Coley off for yet another single, which brings Rahul back on strike. Coley's now 72 from 100 deliveries. Rahul is 61 from 90.
Yeah, and Australia
By the way, we've lost
5
all
wickets
our...
by then.
Yes.
Exactly. Now, we have lost all our listeners, our viewers on YouTube. Please do join us. The link has been posted out again on the Twitter feed.
Stark bowls outside the off stump, hit out to deep point for a single by Rahul.
Yeah, it's always nice to see a full stadium when we're looking at cricket, and it's different. It's different each part of the world. And one thing at least I could appreciate when there were not enough people in the crowd was how well the stadiums looked. I'm happy when it's full as well to see that.
This is a particularly beautiful looking stadium, actually. Some of the shots of it were just gorgeous.
I think
it is, and they've improved it substantially. You know,
exactly.
It's just completely transformed from what it used to be.
Stark in again, slightly short outside the off stump. Kohli just dabs it down to the gully. There's no run.
Absolutely.
The IPL has basically done that for all the stadiums around India. It's just completely transformed the infrastructure.
Now, this is important as well. This is a very important point, and we cannot count the blessings that IPL has given to Indian cricket. Sometimes it can be a bit bothersome, but mostly positive.
But in some cases, it's more appearance than substance. The Modi Dome sounds fairly basic in terms of its facilities. This one, Stark is short, gets up a little bit, whacks Kohli on the helmet as he tries to hook it.
He's climbed it properly.
Must have lifted just a little more than expected, but I'm sure that there'll have to be a medical check on Kohli to make sure he's not concustious. The physio is coming out at a jog right now. It was very short. And Kohli just misread it completely. Hit it straight on the side of the helmet.
I mean, to take an aphorism out of a famous actor from the south of India, when the ball hits Kohli's helmet, it gets concussed, not Kohli. So there is a very famous actor called Rajnikant, and God bless him, may he live long.
Yeah. People from Tamil Nadu are absolutely obsessed with him. Regardless of how trashy his movies are.
He's one of ours. He's a Kannadiga.
Stark was immediately very, very concerned for Kohli, make sure he was all right.
Yeah, and I think there's enough respect, mutual respect. That was the first thing I noticed. The way Kohli seemed to respond, there seemed to be multiple inquiries to his well-being, not necessarily his sanity, but yes.
Well, that's a legacy of the IPL, isn't it? I mean, so many of these players know one another from playing the IPL.
That's right.
It's hard to remain enemies your whole life.
But Messi, just to go back to something you were saying before about the Ahmedabad stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know why do you think the facilities are not good? I've heard that it's got really good facilities.
It depends where you are. The top layer, there are no toilets, there are no outlets, there's no water available. You have to go downstairs. Okay. So that whole 65,000 people, and you've got no facilities. That's just crazy.
Yeah, that's you see this? You're used to Aussie stadiums, but I'm used to Indian stadiums, and I can tell you about Eden Gardens at the top level. It was never there. The toilets, yes, but water or whatever you wanted to go, you had to go down. I haven't been to Eden Gardens, to be fair, for a very long time. I'm sure it's substantially better now.
So Kohli's okay. Stark's back in, pitches it up. Kohli drives beautiful. Rahul. Yeah, no, it is Kohli.
No, it is Kohli. It is Kohli.
Beautifully out to the deep cover boundary for 4 runs. It was just a gorgeous Kohli drive, as only Kohli can drive them, really.
It was a slower ball, or he seemed to have run his fingers across the seam there.
Yeah, really beautiful.
And the beauty of that was the placement. He just turned the bat in his hands to get it exactly where he wanted it to go.
Exactly. And he leaned into it, turned the bat, and just went square of where it normally would have gone.
So Stark tries again. This time it's pitched a little shorter on middle stump. Coley's able to turn it away to the square leg for a single. And all of a sudden he's right up to 77. And again, just at the end of the over, Stark checks on him to make sure he's okay, which is
fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, he did give a 4 just to make sure he's all right as well. That's nice. In the meantime, Josie Oak asks us, but does this stadium have toilets? And Jay Grover says, I'm going to use the shower curtain as a Halloween costume this year. I shall be the hairy ghost, apparently. See, Peeps, Kerala cricket pays for itself, apparently. Speaking of things never to be mentioned, thank you for that view, for that vision in my head now. I can't get rid of it.
Well, I don't know how many millions of dollars you paid for that shower curtain, Jay, but you've got a lot of mileage out of it, I have to say.
Yeah, right. I've heard it being used as a bed sheet. I've heard it being used as a picnic, picnic spread. I don't know what else. Good gods.
Does it actually get used as a shower curtain? Now, that's the question. So we're back with Zampa for some reason. A bowls short outside the off stump. Coley cuts it out to deep cover for a single. Ho hum! I've been here before.
Mint Jeremy, Jay Grover says, I were wondering how long it would take you to ask me my opinions about Modi on the first Indian match of the World Cup. It'll be super. I don't think if he means Modi or Modi Dome, but maybe both.
I'm assuming Jay's view on Modi hasn't changed.
Yes. Yeah. It's fairly clear cut and solid, and I don't necessarily disagree with it.
He's a solid leader, I can imagine.
And so in comes Zampa again, tosses it up again. Rahul is able just to nudge it out in the offside for a single. No hurry, no rush, no urgency. Just a matter of milking what's there.
Are the Australians already beginning to go through the motions here? That's a bit early.
Well,
no?
I do think. I mean, Cummins' captaincy. Sorry, this one.
Yeah,
very similar delivery, except he drives it to long off this time for a single. I just don't think
the space is around all over Messi, right?
Yeah,
there's
no sense of aggression in Cummins' captaincy. It's all very formulaic, and I really think for white ball cricket you need something more.
Yeah, at least in the test matches he sometimes has been caught a little unaware, unprepared. Yeah. You can see that.
This one is he tries to toss it up. It's a full toss, which Rahul doesn't really take full advantage of. Rather than whack it through the square, he just sort of defends it. It goes up the wicket, hits Kohli on the foot, deflects, and they're able to run through for a single.
This is exactly what I was talking about. This ball right here. Every leg spinner has to deliver one unless his name is called Warren. One a match is like it comes with the territory unless you are called one. I've seen him bowl 8
one
overs
a match
without missing his length. Yeah, one a match is mandatory now. I'm just teasing.
I think more than that. If you're doing less than one every couple of overs of leggy, you're doing all right.
If you're
so is it again? This is a much better ball. He tosses it up.
I think it's close.
At perfect length.
There's
an appeal for leg before wicket, but I think it's going over.
Yep. It's too far forward. Right. It's not even near.
Because it's a flipper or a googly, the one that goes straight, or it is an inside
and it hit the bat.
A huge inside edge.
In fact, about it. No wonder nobody else cared. Sorry, the leg spinner
it was more exciting than most of what happened when he'd been bowling, to be honest. Next one, he tosses up outside the off stump. Kohli is able to deflect it down to a deep point for a single, and that's the end of the over. 5 runs from it. The score at the end of the over is 151 for 3 after 35 overs. Just another 50 runs needed. Yeah, 49. Sorry, yeah. So
where are all the tweeters?
They'll get those in probably another 7 overs.
That's the question then. Is this now the time that India maybe looks a little bit to, press the accelerator? Maybe
yeah,
get on.
I think
let's put it this way, Ajit. This match is not going to go another 15 overs.
No.
Oh no. That's also one of the confidences I had when I took this job on, of sitting this through, right? So because I would anyway watch the match, I thought, why not watch it in the company of you gents?
Absolutely.
Very nice.
That's what guerrilla cricket's all about. Sitting around together, following the same thing, whether we're physically together or not.
Fair enough.
Indeed.
Yeah, the crowd's all doing their Mexican waves. They look very happy. Hazelwood, probably the best of the Australian bowlers, is back now. Bowling to Kohli, who manages to flick it up to deep mid-wicket. Where Green comes in, toss it back to Carey, and they amble through for easiest of singles to take Kohli onto 81 now.
Will Kohli get his 100 then?
Yep.
This is me going full.
I would hope so. Yes.
Fair enough. We see a lot of
Messi, I'm just going to take off for a few deliveries. I'll just be back. Yeah.
Sure.
I'll keep him company. No worries. We're good. All right.
I can see no reason why Kohli would get out at this stage.
No, I mean, come on.
Hazelwood's in outside the off stump, driven by Rahul, but well fielded by Labuschagne at short cover. He doesn't look a very happy chappy.
I think he always, that's his default.
Yeah, that's
whatever it's
true.
called, resting sad face. That's his default face, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're Marnus, but also when you look at Rahul, we often forget how tall he is in terms of batsman in the Indian team. He's very elegant that way. He looks much more elegant. And I would say, if Hazelwood cannot get a breakthrough, this is the last toss of the dice if you're an Australian team. Because anything else that might happen from here on in, if India get to 170, it'll not matter much.
Well, I mean, when you consider that they've got a considerable amount of batting to come, and, we get under Jadeja and Ashwin, they're very capable of knocking over Australia anyhow. Hazelwood's in again, just outside the off stump, driven again to short cover by Rahul. There's no run there.
No, I understand what you're saying, but Hazelwood, he bowls those test match lengths, just that in-between lengths where it's going to hit the top of off. It's going to be always challenging, and these two are set. I'll concede that. But you never discount him in terms of, making something happen. The pitch is also probably slow. The ball is a little old. All of these don't work for him. We know this.
Yeah.
Every time I look at Zampa, I can't believe he's a dad now. He still looks like this bubbly surfer kid who's 17 or 18. Look at him.
Yeah. So this one's shorter from Hazelwood, and it's hooked over mid-wicket and picked up by Green patrolling the deep mid-wicket boundary for 2 runs. There was a bit of aggression in that shot, but it was probably one of the few short balls that Hazel was actually bowled, and it was kind of asking to be hooked with the hope that maybe he'd get a top edge and skied or something like that.
Worth a try, right?
It's very safe. Yes,
if you're the Australian captain, would you try different things then? Maybe have Marsh a go, maybe Marnus, maybe Smith a go?
I'd have Maxwell back on again, to be honest. This one is driven beautifully by Rahul, and it evades Maxwell at mid-on and the bowler and squeezes between them to go for 4 down at long on. Very nice on drive. It was up initially.
Was it away from... Yeah, I think it was comfortably away from the bowler. I initially thought it might have been a chance. No chance. Yeah. We see Sean Abbott on the field. I wonder who he's replacing. Also, another question. With this makeup in the team, with both Marnus and Steven Smith in the 11 and Maxwell you can't drop Maxwell in this part of the world. Will Stoinis then sit out on the bench then?
Stoinis is an odd one. I mean, they used him a bit to open the bowling in the South African series. This one's a quick single that's managed. So they reached the end of the over. The score is 159 for 3 after 36 overs. 41 runs needed to win. I actually don't rate Steiners that much. I mean, occasionally he has an amazing flash, but I just think he's not quite there. Green has been very disappointing of late, and that's Carey hasn't done much lately, which is why the Australian middle order is such a worry. And Travis Head is a huge hole at the moment.
Would you think?
Yeah, go on.
Would you think it's time to maybe replace Carey with Inglis? Because Inglis had a better go of it with the bat at least. And Carey is a trusted member of this 11. He's probably a very important cog in this wheel and so on.
I think there's a chance that Inglis might get a run in a couple of the games to see how he is, and then they'll make a call if they do make the semi-finals as to who to play. But Carey does need to score some runs to cement his place.
Rahul looks in some kind of trouble when he finished that run at the end of last over. He seemed to be shaking his hand.
Yeah, his left wrist seems to be a bit of a worry for him.
Yeah.
And his left forearm. I don't know if he's been hit or he's cramping.
Cramping up, maybe. Yeah. With this weather, right? I don't remember him being hit on the forearm at all, but he seems to be cramping a little. And
they're giving him some
sort of
pickle juice.
Pickle juice, exactly. Whatever is the equivalent of pickle juice chemically that he's being given. And
they've just changed the balls. The ball for some reason.
Second time just in the last 10 overs or so. That's very interesting. And we look at the next three fixtures for India: Afghanistan 11th October, 14th October Pakistan, the famous one, and another famous one against Bangladesh, Pune, 19th October. So India Pakistan play each other in Ahmedabad again, Modi Dome, and India Afghanistan play each other in Delhi. So plenty of great things, great matches for India if you're a fan. But in the meantime, I think there is some choreographed light shining going on from the crowd to keep themselves.
Yes, they love doing that, don't they? I've got to say, I really don't much rate Afghanistan for this series. I think Bangladesh might do considerably better than people predicted.
Bangladesh is a good team. I actually had Bangladesh as a semi-finalist originally.
I think there's still a good chance of that, to be honest. I think
they can
Australia
get their act together.
There's every chance, I think, that Australia and England might both miss out on the semi-finals.
Wow. That is a very bold call, Messi.
Well, I just don't think...
He said might.
Yeah, I don't think England's... I think England are full of hubris. So this next ball from Zampa is hit attackingly, oh God, out over cover, very high, and Green makes...
Is that Green? Or?
Yeah, makes a dog's breakfast of fielding, almost knocks it into the boundary, and they come back for 3, is that? Yes.
Yes.
3.
It
should have been no more than 2. Green chased after
His
it.
other hand is what I'm looking at, I think.
Yeah,
his body is good.
okay.
Bent down.
Yeah. He really
That's a long way down.
Stuff it up. Yeah, it is a long way down for a bloke who's as tall as he is, I must admit.
6 3/4 feet.
But it doesn't stop him from holding.
Zampa's then again way too short, although it turned a fair bit from middle to off. Kohli was able just to pull it out to square leg, and they scamper back for 2. So the score is now 164 for 3. They only need 36 more runs. I reckon they'll get that done rather than the 82 balls they need. I think they'll do it in about 24 balls myself.
We saw a famous Indian actor there, or he looked like a famous Indian actor. Venkatesh.
Next ball's pitched up on the leg stump.
Yeah.
Kohli digs it out for a single down to long on.
Yeah, I'm not up on South Indian actors, I'm afraid. Other than
all I'm thinking, right? Indeed. All I'm thinking at this stage is Zampa suddenly lost the plot a little over the last couple of overs. The lengths have been all over the place.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe he's still recovering from being hit for 113 off 10 overs by South Africa.
Come on, he's a strong lad.
Ajit, you've been very kind to him just because he's a leggy. He's bowled miserably throughout this innings. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. Again, he bowls way too short. He's very lucky that Rahul actually just dabs it back past him to mid-off, and there's no run. I mean, he's gone for 51 runs. This is his 8th over, and he really hasn't presented any threat whatsoever. Comes in for the 5th ball of the over. This one he tosses up on middle and leg. Rahul manages to knock it down to long on for yet another single. Rahul is now on 75. Kohli is on 84. There are 34 runs to win, which means they cannot both reach a century.
Yeah.
Kohli probably can.
No, but both of them seem to have upped the ante a little after that previous strings break. I think they've had some word with the think tank.
Well, the Aussies have helped by bowling badly and setting the field badly.
Maybe it was Aussies who had the word back home. Either way, yes.
Final ball of the over is tossed right up. It's a full toss on leg stump. Just hit down to long on. Get him off.
Take him
He's
off.
bowled 9 overs for 53 runs. Don't give him his last one. Give it to Maxwell or bowl some rubbish. Anyhow, that's the end of the over.
This is when, as a player if you're experienced, you tell your skipper, I'm done. Take me off. I'm not helping anyone. So, in the meantime, Jay Grover tells you, Messrs, it's cricket, not a deterministic morality. I don't know what that is. If you know, please do expound. And of course, he says play, just play. I don't know what that means, but yes. Where are all our YouTube commenters? They're all gone.
Attendance 33,190. I presume that's close to capacity. Is it an Indo?
I don't think so. There's plenty of time yet, I think.
Yeah, that is close to capacity. I don't think it's a very big crowd. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what the capacity is. I can check. I would say at most it would be 40 to 45 at most.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. I mean, these are like the official numbers. You can add a comfortable 5,000.
50,000 is the capacity officially.
It would have made much more sense to play this game at Ahmedabad and have the Ahmedabad game here and make it look reasonably full.
Well,
they have
you cannot
the Ahmedabad, India-Pakistan at Ahmedabad on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but you can't risk having a damn squib as the opener, Messi. This could be a 150 all-out pitch.
Hazelwood is back, slightly short on the off stump, nurdled off to short mid-wicket by Kohli for no run. Hazelwood has 2 for, is that 27 or 37? From his 7 overs, 2 for 27. He's actually bowled really well.
Correct. I mean, Hazelwood, at least the initial few overs were excellent. First 10 overs between him and Cummins, they were good. And Stark as well.
There was Stark, yeah. In again, on the off stump, good bowling length. Just played down to Smith at point. Who feels it, and there's no run.
Get Smithy a go. Come on, boys. Give him a ball. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
he can't do
you sort your plans out, right?
Nothing much to lose, is there?
You give all your bowlers a go just so that they are ready for the upcoming games. If they have to, 2-3 overs in a game, right? I'm sure Smith is a little bit more consistent than Marnus. Marnus, I think, is proper buffet, but who knows?
This one, it's a much slower ball, well outside the off stump. Kohli misses it completely. It was 117 kilometers an hour. So not a bad try, actually. If he'd bowled it just a little straighter, it might have caused some real problems. But obviously, he finds it hard to maintain that same line when he's reducing the speed by so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the ball just goes with the hand when he's trying to reduce the speed.
They just roll the fingers.
This one
just hold the ball
short.
loosely. Dear God.
Is that caught?
Yes.
I think
it is. So it was short outside the off stump coming in to the middle, and Kohli went to hook it, went straight into the hands of short mid-wicket, who caught it very comfortably. And Kohli has gone for 85
Pity.
from 116 deliveries, which was a real shame. I would like to see him get his ton. He just
like
mistimed it slightly. And Labuschagne made absolutely no mistake. There's some consolation in it for him.
I saw this coming, if I may say this. They were setting Kohli up. All those balls outside the off stump, there was one going to be shorted on his body to see if he can pull straight to the one at mid wicket. He's beautifully done that. That's a pity. But he's, I would say, done the job as far as this match is concerned.
I think it was a beautiful innings from Kohli coming in
really well.
With a score. Well, I mean, they were 3 wickets down for 2 runs. And he's seen them through to now 167 for 4. You can't really ask for much more than that. They only need 33 more runs. He's definitely done the job.
So Jay Grover explains what he means, by the way. Deterministic morality play. Hubris is a wee bit harsh and heavy for the England cricket team, apparently.
Oh, right. Yes,
it's cricket, not deterministic morality play, apparently. I don't know what that means. Still a bit above my ken, but you know what I mean. So Pandya comes in. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, Pandya's then. I was going to say, when New Zealand absolutely flogged England in the first game, I didn't see any gloating at all from any New Zealanders because they just didn't need to. They were just smiling and thinking, yes, that'll do.
Yeah, we've done what is required.
They didn't have to poke fun. They didn't have to point. They just knew that was enough. I thought that was gorgeous. Sorry,
Fair
yes, you're right. Hardik Pandya is in, and there are only 33 more runs needed from 74 balls, so it's not a tough ask. Hazelwood coming in, and for his first ball, he bowls very much the same sort of ball that got Kohli, except I suspect it was a little slower. It was short, and it's put away quite comfortably to deep square leg for a single by Hardik.
Kohli's ball was a bit outside his off stump. They made him fetch it.
Yes.
That's why it went much squarer rather than finer, and he hit it straight to that fielder. This is a trap that we also work on when you know a batsman has a tendency to pull if it's close to his, let's say, fourth stump on the off stump, fourth stump outside the off stump. If you bowl there, Kohli is still fuming. You can see him in the dressing room.
Meanwhile, his head. These are my runs you're going to be scoring out there. Yes. So Hazelwood's in again on a good length, defended forward by Rahul into the covers for no run.
Since his return from injury, I was thinking Rahul has been accounting well for himself with his, with how he's holding up from purely fitness perspective. He kept 50 overs, he's batted 30 overs here. He's done really well, right? And Shreyas Iyer, I thought today would have been an excellent opportunity to seize a little bit of, a little bit of an opportunity, score even a 40 or a 30, stabilize the innings. That would have been fantastic. For me, he has to do a little bit more. There's people like Surya waiting in the wings. So you would think, for me, I would like to see Shreyas Iyer step up in a pressure situation, sort of take a little bit more control, because he has all the shots. He can do it as classily as anyone. Only thing, the temperament is the question, right?
Yep. Well, I mean, one innings in a white ball match, you're going to fail from time to time.
I think you're being a bit unfair because that ball actually stopped on him a little bit. I'm not sure that was a terrible shot to hit. It did stop on him a little bit, which he should have expected, perhaps, given watching Australia bat.
So Maxwell is back, I'm pleased to say. They didn't give Zampa his 10th rubbish over, and he bowls it up on off stump. It's knocked out by Hardik to deep mid-off for a single.
Well, at least grudgingly, we see Jadeja padding up. Probably not very happy, but he's at least doing what needs to be done there. That's good to see. And while we wait, so it's also, for me, Hardik also has to do some work, I think.
Maxwell in again, on the middle stump, defended forward. No run taken. Maxwell's busy getting dust on his hands and trying to get some grip of this wet ball.
Correct. Must be really now quite muggy by now there.
Indeed. Next ball is very similar. Defended just to short mid-on for no run. And they really annoyed me by putting up India need 31 from 69 balls rather than showing the batter's score. I hate it when they do this.
I mean,
it's going to toggle over when he takes a single.
So the next ball is on the offside. It's defended away to a short point, and they scrambled through for a single. So
You're
one
right,
run
Messi
off
did
4
toggle.
balls. Sorry?
He didn't toggle, you're right. I thought when the score changes...
No, they've changed
somebody
it.
actually scores around.
It's so annoying. Again, this one is just leave it up to long on for another single. And Rahul is now on 76. Oh, God.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
And Pandya's on 2.
Pandya on 2. And that was, we got one ball. Yeah, 171 for 4. And we got one ball left in the 39th over, which is again on leg stump. Up by Rahul to long on for a single. That moves him to 77. That's the end of the over. It cost 4 runs. 28 more runs needed from 66 deliveries.
Except for that glitch, looks like we are back on track if you're an India fan. And the tweeters have gone quiet. So have the chatters on YouTube. I can imagine as the denouement beckons, people are trying to do other things. But they say, Jay Grover says, Hardik owes me 7.5 pounds. TWR raps from the 1994 still. Hang on. That might still be quite a lot now.
Yeah.
Hardik and 7.5, you have to explain to me from 1994 still. What is this all about?
I don't know, but you're never going to get it. I can promise you that.
Jay,
it's
right?
it's one of my pet gripes about the way TV channels show the scores. They should always have the score, they should have the batter's score, and they should have the bowler's figures. Anything else they put on should be in addition to that. I hate it when they take them off. So we're back with Hazelwood bowling to... I don't know who's bowling to as a result of that.
Rahul. Pandya. Rahul, sorry.
It was Rahul. Yeah, because he took a last.
He was bowling to about Rahul, and he takes a single.
78 of 107. Yeah.
Thank you. I feel like shooting the bastards. I really do. It gets me so angry. Sorry, I'm going a bit over the top on this.
It's okay. I've got the scoreboard open in front of me, so I can give you the separate scores. Don't get frustrated.
Thank you.
I'll fill it in.
So we got Hardik on strike now. This one just pushes through a little faster. It's on him quicker than he thought, and he defends it out to point for no run.
I missed an important tweet a while back. Leah says,
Yes.
Stop saying pickle juice. I'm stuck at a public place and will be here for at least another hour. So it'll be 90 minutes until I get my hands on some delicious prickle brine. Is this some sort of a code word that I may have missed in my...
Pickle juice is actually the remedy for some Australians for cramp. I think it's a load of bullshit myself. This one is pitched on middle stump, played out by Rahul for a single. By Hardik for a single? Yes, you're right. Sorry, by Hardik for a single. Takes him to 4. And the score moves to 174 for 4. And Manas Labuschagne looks particularly perplexed. He looks like he's watching a tennis match, moving his head back.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got no idea why he's so confused. But it's quite amusing.
I think that's his natural state, I think. Perpetually confused. It's potentially his natural state. Only when he has a bat in hand, he has a bit of deterministic morality. No, I'm teasing. So,
dear. So we have Rahul on strike. He's had to pull back. I don't know what's holding
26,
up play.
26 runs required, and Rahul needs 22 to his 100.
Indeed. This one's very short from Hazelwood, goes down the leg side, probably a wide. It is wide. And he just left it alone and went through to Carey. So one less for him as a chance to get to his 100.
Hazelwood seems to have heard us.
He had the most ineffectual waft at that as it went past.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was convincing.
Maybe he'd seen Marnus look as if he was watching tennis and trying to play some sort of tennis shot, although it didn't look like anything I've seen at Wimbledon. So Hazelwood's back again. This time he pitches it up on the off stump. He manages to just send it out to deep cover, where it's picked up and returned via Warner to the bowler for a single. Looks like everybody in the Australian team's just sort of waiting for this to be over. Yeah.
Well, we see the number of players carrying towels due to the high humidity.
A lot of dew.
Whenever the ball rolls on the grass, it gets a bit wet. So we are getting to see that. But I'm thinking Mitch Marsh should be given a go because he could be useful, right, in the upcoming games.
Hazelwood in again. Okay, bit of attack here from Hardick. He's lofted that over mid-off for a beautiful 6. That was driven very nicely. It was pretty much in the slot. He moved his feet a bit to get to the pitch, and 6 runs, which is the 58th.
The first 6 hit by an Indian batsman?
Wow.
I think it is.
I see.
It's the 58th 6 of the tournament, which is a figure you'll never need to know before you die. But it is the first 6.
It's the first 6. First 6 of an Indian. Yeah.
Well, so Hazelwood in again with a little bit more pace this time. Pitched on middle leg, defended by Hardick out to point for no run. So only 18 more runs needed now, which makes it harder to get to that century, given that Rahul is on 79 now, so he really doesn't have,
I don't think he'll mind,
a likelihood of getting a century. My main concern is that he doesn't overtake Kohli, because my son and I had Kohli for top scorer in the innings.
While Leah says apparently Pujara does not like pickle juice, and they show a picture of Pujara almost coughing, almost choking. And Jay Grover says, couldn't you make a good dirty martini with pickle juice? As the discussions over pickle juice continues.
I've never understood what a dirty martini is, actually.
Josie Oak says, after giggling at India, I'm back at laughing at Australia.
You've done the full circuit, have you, David? Nice one.
And Jay Grover has another update. Despite the historically similarities between my father and Messrs, there is a major difference. Jeremy grumbles, Derek screams in rage, destroys appliances, and then cries.
I don't know. So Maxwell is on. This time Rahul.
It's a huge 6.
Really gets hold of it. Steps slightly to the leg side so he can get it to a position where he can loft it over mid-off for a very, very big 6. So we're going to be over within the end of this over or the next.
No, not that quickly, but we are definitely heading towards the denouement.
Well, they only need 12 rounds. I think there's every chance that he'll try and finish it this over.
Yep. Why not?
12 runs required. This is the 41st over.
Yeah. Messrs, by the way,
I think they may be looking at the net run
one where you put olive brine in it.
Right. There you go. So this time he doesn't loft it. He just manages to hit it beautifully for 4 through mid-off. And we're coming very close to the end. 8 more runs needed, 4 balls left, and another 9 overs if necessary.
Very good.
That means that he is now the top scorer for the innings with 89 not out. If he hits 2 sixes, he will get his 100.
Exactly. That's what I was hinting at.
I was just thinking that.
He's been told what is needed from his 100 perspective. 11 runs for his 112. He can get by 2 sixes. Why not?
And Maxi, this time he pitches it up more. He comes forward to turn it into a full toss. Maxwell is looking as if he's dropped it. I didn't look like a catch to me. It's gone to long off for a single. Score is now 193 for 4 off 40.3 overs. Rahul is
and
on
Messrs,
90.
by the way, when we started, we were discussing possible results for the match, and you were the only one who's really on the ball. You said low-scoring match, Australia loses.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This one is just dabbed out to deep point for a single, which there's no chance, unfortunately, for Rahul any longer, because he needs another 11 runs for a century, does he not? And he's 6 to win.
It's 10 actually. If he hits a 4 and then a 6,
yes, you hit a 4 and a 6. That's it. Yes.
He's dotted one ball. Now he's made it tough for himself, because even if he hits a boundary shot this over, the next over would have to be completely blocked out for him to get strike again. So
he could take a single.
And then hit a 4 and a 6. Yes, he's taking a single down to long on. So he's
he's thinking along the same lines.
He's on 91 for the start of the 42nd over. 5 are required to win. And I think he'll try and hit a 6 and finish on 97.
I think so. I think he's had enough of it. He wants to wrap the game up for sure. But nice to see, right? If India win with any amount of time left, 8 overs and a few balls would be still pretty good, I think.
Yes.
Jay Grover in the meanwhile.
Yes.
Sorry. Go on.
Go.
So Jay Grover that close to getting Messrs to admit him and me share irrational violent rage apparently. He's tempting you to get ranty and so on, Jay Grover, Messrs. And he says it's the same tweet coming up again. That's weird. It's not the same tweet. It's a stupid ad in between inserted by our
I don't have irrational violent rage. I have rational violent rage, Jay. There's a big difference.
Fair enough.
But I do laugh a lot. Does your dad laugh a lot? I like to laugh. It's very healthy to laugh a lot.
Oh, yes. But does rational violent rage also involve destroying property or appliances around?
Oh, no, I don't do that. So we have, is that Cummings bowling? Looks like he's run up. Coming to bowl the 42nd over. The first ball is hit out to the offside for no run. But again, because they don't put the Kieran on screen, it's impossible to know what anybody's score is.
Well, Rahul is on 91.
Well, Rahul's on 91. Yeah, Pandya's on 11.
Thank you very much. It's a cooperative effort here at Guerrilla Cricket and White Line Wireless.
So 5 runs for India.
And he comes in this time. That is the game. So he did exactly what we predicted. He lofts
he's
beautiful sticks over the cover boundary, and India win by 6 wickets with 8.4 overs to spare. Beautifully done job. Congratulations to India. Well-deserved win. And Australia have got a lot of thinking to do about what the hell they do, both playing spin bowling and bowling spin bowling and batting in the middle order. But well done, India.
Would you like me to go through the scorecard? It'll be very easy.
Yes, by all means.
I'm going to take off if you guys don't mind, because I haven't been well.
Good.
I just want to
thank you very much, Aninda. It's been great to have you back for with us for the Pakistan game.
Yes, I am indeed. I might be for the Afghanistan as well. I'm not very sure, but Pakistan definitely.
Oh wow!
Look forward to seeing them. I hope you get better soon.
Thank you. Bye, Ajay.
So, bye-bye, India. Going back to the scorecard. Rohit Sharma 0, Ishan Kishan 0, Virat Kohli 85, Shreyas Iyer 0. KL Rahul 97 not out, Pandya 11 not out. That was easy. India win in 41.2 overs with Rahul hitting a 6, which he looked a bit disappointed with, by the way. Mitchell Stark 8 overs 31 for 1. Josh Hazlewood 3 for 38, the pick of the Australian bowlers really. Pat Cummins targeted a little bit, 6.2 overs 33 for no wicket. Well, no other bowler had a wicket, frankly. Glenn Maxwell 8 overs 33 runs. Cameron Green 2 overs 11 runs. Zampa potentially not the pick of the bowlers, 8 overs 53 for no wicket. And Messers, who would be your man of the match?
I think I would actually nominate Kohli as the man of the match. I think he's the one who really created the space for India to win. I know Rahul outscored him, but I just thought Kohli guided them through it in such a good way. The other person who won't get the man of the match but played superbly was Jadeja with his 3 for 28.
Yes.
I thought his bowling was just sublime.
From 2 for 3
all around. The Australian bowlers too. I actually thought Josh Hazlewood bowled really well for his 3 for 38, and Mitchell Stark's always well worth it in the first few overs, but beyond that they struggled dreadfully. They really did.
All right. Do we have anything to add, Messers? Or do we call it evening here?
Well, I think we should say thank you in particular to everybody who's been with us tonight, particularly Russell for his production, given that he's got to be at a meeting in about an hour and a half.
Holy cow.
Thank you, Mr.
I exaggerate slightly, but not very much. And then, of course, Sapun, who was also with us through his illness, Tim and Karthik. And I think that was the whole crew for tonight. Thank you all very much.
And India, of course. And India, we said thank you to.
Yeah. And thank you all for being with us. You just make it for us and communicating with us and being with us. Guerrilla Cricket will be back with you tomorrow at the same time for the game between New Zealand and the Netherlands from Hyderabad. That's at... it's 4:30 my time in
10:30 a.m.
9:30 and 10:30 in Europe. So we hope you can join us then. We're with you every day for every match of the World Cup. It's great to have your company with us, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you all very much indeed. Good night.
Bye-bye.
DNA. So when they start to play and you want to know and you can't find the call on the radio, go the White Line Wireless, White Line Wireless, White Line Wireless, White Line Wireless. Just one click to hear it all. Boba, boba, bloody boba.